What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another quick video review. Now, for those of you who follow my channel, you know a few weeks ago I did a review on the DJI Spark and I said that this is perhaps the best entry-level drone out there in the market. But after having used it for a few weeks, there are a few quirks about this drone that are kind of getting on my nerves. So I thought that I'd share with you what are the top 5 things that I absolutely hate about DJI Spark, so that you can make a more informed decision if you want to buy the DJI Spark or if you're better off buying the DJI Mavic Air. And if you hang on to the end of this review, I'm gonna let you know that if I was to make this decision again, would I still buy the DJI Spark or would I spend the extra money and get the DJI Mavic Air? So with that, let's just jump in to category 1, and that's the resolution. Now, I am not a big fan when it comes to 4K because I think 1080p is plenty good. You know, the gains that we made from VHS to DVD, from DVD to 720p and 720p to 1080p, they've kind of tapered off. So what's the big deal in shooting in 1080p or 4K when there's no big benefit of having 4K over 1080p? Well, if you plan on doing anything in post, the extra pixels and the extra resolution become really important. To show that, what I'm going to do now is that we're going to shoot a same video with the DJI Spark and my iPhone 10. DJI Spark being 1080p, iPhone 10 being 4K, and then I'm going to show you that when you zoom into your shots, how much more you're losing out when you're just shooting at 1080p. That brings us to category 2. Now in category 2 is the frames per second. Now the DJI Spark can do 1080p at 30 frames per second. A normal video or a regular broadcast that we watch on TV is anywhere between 24 to 30 frames per second depending on the geography or the content you're watching. So what's the big deal if the DJI Spark shoots 1080p at 30 frames per second? Well, no big deal if all you're going to do is watch standard content. Well, what ends up happening is that when you use your drone to shoot some cool cinematic videos, you want to make a vlog, you want to make some family videos, you want to slow things down. And as soon as you want to slow things down, shooting at only 30 frames per second becomes a bottleneck. So now what we're going to do is that I'm going to show you a video that's been shot at 240 frames per second, and we're going to slow it down to 25% of the original speed. And then I'm going to take a video that's been shot with DJI Spark and slow it down to 25% of the original speed. And you're going to see visually the difference of how choppy the image on the DJI Spark looks. At number 3, we have the gimbal. Now, what is a gimbal? Well, let me show you. Well, you've seen people carrying devices like this when they're out there shooting videos, and they basically help stabilize your video. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to show you a DJI Spark video, which is a 2-axis gimbal, versus a video that's shot on an iPhone with a 3-axis gimbal, so you can see what's the difference. And what will be very clear to you is that as soon as the drone turns around, the fact that it's only a 2-axis gimbal catches up with it. Whereas when we're shooting the video with the DJI Osmo 2 on my iPhone 10, and when we take that turn, the video would be a lot smoother. Now, how many times have you seen a DJI Spark or a drone video where there's been an accident? So you go out and you end up saving money because you don't want to spend extra on a DJI Mavic Air or a DJI Pro or the Pro 2 that's coming, and then you end up being in a crash and you end up spending so much more money or buying a new drone because your drone did not have enough sensors. Now the DJI Spark has only got 2 sensors. It's got one sensor in the front and it's got one sensor at the rear, but it's got no sensor at the back. It's not got any sensors on the sides. So what happens is that if you're shooting a video and if you're doing any of the auto tracking modes and the drone is flying back or the drone is flying towards the side and there's a building, there's a tree, there's something that you cannot see, and boom, there's a crash and you end up losing your drone. Many cases you just lose your propellers, but there are cases where you end up losing the entire drone. So not having enough sensors to detect collisions is kind of a bummer when it comes to DJI Spark. You want to save money, but do you want to save money on not having an airbag? Well, that's kind of up to you. And number 5 is the battery. Now the DJI Spark just gives you 15 minutes of flight time. Compare that to the DJI Mavic Air, you get 21 minutes. Now while that may not seem like a lot, let me explain it to you differently. For starters, 20% of the battery is used for return to home. So you're only left with 10 minutes of shooting time. Out of that 10 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes is what you take to set up your video, to set up your shot. So you're left with 6 to 7 minutes of actual shooting time. I can guarantee you that you're going to be burning these batteries at the speeds of knots. Finally, the verdict. If you're sitting on the fence and if you want to buy the drone, are you better off buying the DJI Spark or are you better off buying the DJI Mavic Air? And it all boils down to the price. If the price difference between the two drones is anywhere between $200 to $300, I would lean towards the DJI Mavic Air. But if the price difference is $500, then I would still go ahead and buy the Spark, because there's no way that the DJI Mavic Air deserves a $500 premium even after calling out the shortcomings of this drone that I've called out. So with that, we come to the end of this review. If you like this video and want to watch more such videos, consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that like button, it's super important to me, and I'd like to thank you all for watching.